I spent the past few days checking out Higgsfield Popcorn, the AI tool that's calling itself the Nano Banana Killer. Higgsfield is really a Swiss Army knife for AI creativity, but with Higgsfield Popcorn, you can upload one photo and add a short prompt, and it builds an entire cinematic storyboard for you, complete with consistent characters, lighting, style, you name it. Now, I wanted to find out how far I could push it, so I ran a few tests, from turning a selfie into a travel sequence to transforming a product into an ad campaign, even turning a simple bald photo of me into a multi-shot short film. And if you stick around, you'll get to see that full sequence, all made possible through Higgsfield Popcorn. But first, let's show off what Higgsfield is and how it works. You've got image editing tools, access to all different kinds of functions, but also all different kinds of models. Some of them I've never actually used before, so it's nice to have them through Higgsfield. Same goes for video. Ton of different things you can do with video, but also tapping into video model generators like Sora 2, Google VO 3.1, all sorts of different ways you can go, and a number of other features. But the feature that we're going to focus on here is Higgsfield Popcorn. And what this is all about is it's designed to help you build kind of a storyboard so that you can use these generative AI tools to create a story instead of just sending off a single prompt, crossing your fingers that it all comes out in the wash in the end. Here you can really craft it and create an arc, and it just allows for a very cohesive end product. So let's start by making a single image storyboard, and we're going to take a selfie that I have and turn it into a cinematic travel log. We can upload a total of 4 images to impact the storyboard creation, but in this case, we're just going to use one. Just select my selfie, load it in. It's nothing too crazy. It's just me in Dublin, Ireland. And we've got this in auto mode, so it takes care of a lot of the process, but I've entered into here a little prompt, and you can see here 4 results. We can do a total of up to 8 if we didn't include a reference image. The more reference images that you add, the less of these results you can have. But I added 1, so it took 1 off. I could have a total of up to 7 results, which is what I'm going to do, so we have a lot to choose from. And then I'm just going to hit generate. All right, so we got some of the images back. You can see there's relative consistency across these, and I wouldn't say that this version of me looks exactly like me, but it's kind of close, I suppose. Similar lighting, that is definitely one consistency that we're seeing. I'm out in front of the bridge, so it's not a perfect version of me, but again, this is meant to be a storyboard, right? And giving the AI models that we might feed these images into a nice starting point to keep them consistent and on the same page as each other. This one's a little bit different, still similar time of day. Oh, I'm obviously inside of a store, so the lighting looks a little different. I'm really pleased with that map, apparently. Ooh, I like this shot. Very cinematic, very nicely framed. I'm looking out over the water and into the city skyline. For the most part, I like these. Honestly, if I was to pick, I'd probably pick these 4 and this one. I think they kind of follow a consistent pathway, and I like all of those together. Okay, for the second test, we're going to check out kind of like a brand campaign, keeping it photo real. I pulled off of my bookcase this little Android figurine, which I've had for a very long time from Google I/O. And I'm wondering how we can integrate this as if this was a brand and, I wanted to do a marketing campaign around this. I have a photo that I took earlier of that figurine, and I've entered in a prompt. Let's go ahead and generate that. All right, so we got 7 images back, and I think one thing that this really nailed is the shiny, reflective quality of the top of the Android bot, right? Very consistent across all of the images that we have here. I mean, except for some of the wonky characters and everything, definitely getting some strange imagery if you look too close. But just from a realism standpoint around the product itself, definitely seeing some really cool output here. I like the consistency across each of the outputs. It did a fantastic job of getting the close-up there, standing out on the street. And then these are more like studio product shots. And definitely, I mean, this could totally pass. So now we're going to do a little bit of a combo because we have my selfie, we have the image that I fed it of the Android figurine, and now I'm going to do a dual input consistency test, combining these both together to come up with some interesting images that have them both in at the same time. Now I've loaded 2 images in there, which means that I can now only do a total of 6 output results. Okay, got the results. This one's a little funnier, not gonna lie. I suppose the AI has a hard time knowing what the actual scale is of this figurine because it was just on a table, so I can't ding it for that. The product looks all right, but the representation of me is a little hilarious. Honestly, in this one, I kind of look like Robert Englund, who plays Freddy Krueger. Those look like baby hands to me. I probably could have found, honestly, a better picture of myself. Maybe that's part of the reason why these are quite looking like me. But it is doing the job. It is kind of taking these 2 images and squishing them together in different lighting environments and different scenarios. All right, we're about to totally crank it up a notch. But before we do, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I'm going to be doing a whole lot more looks into AI services like Higgsfield Popcorn in the weeks and months ahead. Okay, for the next test, we're actually going to switch modes. So far, we've been working in automatic mode, so it does a lot of the work for you. We're going to go over to manual mode, which is how we have more control over what each image in the storyboard actually represents. So first of all, this is an image from, I don't know how many years ago on Halloween, where I was Daddy Warbucks. But in this case, I'm just some dude with a bow tie and a bald head. Now we're going to set up a mini movie with multiple scenes, and I'm going to determine what each of those scenes shows. All right, so I've got my prompts in there. I'm going to go ahead and click to generate. And here we go, a 4-scene storyboard. It's kind of done in reverse. So Jason waking up in a futuristic lab. This is he's staring into the mirror, realizing he's part of an experiment gone wrong. Scientists watch through the glass as he steps into the corridor. And then finally, Jason walks out into daylight for the first time, the city skyline glowing in the distance. Why don't we animate one of these scenes? I think we got to start with the first one. Let's go ahead and pull that up full screen. We've got some functions down in the bottom right corner. I could just download it or edit in order to kind of work with different things that appear in the image. Upscale, of course, if I want better quality, or I could animate. So let's tap that. So you can see that the image from the storyboard is dropped in here. I have the ability to throw a prompt in here to kind of guide what that animation is going to do. And then I have access to a bunch of different models. Right now it's set by default Higgsfield Light. Higgsfield Light is video generation. There's no sound involved there, but you could do, OpenAI's Sora 2, all of the different iterations of that. Google Veo, WAN, which is another video with sound generator. A few things here that I just have never used before. I've put in the prompt. I'm going to go ahead and pick Veo 3 Fast. If I go up here, I have access to different kind of presets that I could apply to this. I think I'm just going to go with general. All right, and so here we go. We have the video. It is back. I'm super curious to see and listen. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's a single shot. Going to be good for laying it out onto a video edit sequence, bringing it into Premiere. That gives me some flexibility. I can imagine doing a number of these and building up a project around that, and then being able to throw it into a video edit sequence, throw some music and sound effects. You could really do a lot with storytelling with Higgsfield Popcorn in this way. All right, so that's just one of the storyboards that I animated. I actually went ahead and did the rest and turned the whole thing into a short movie, which you're going to get to see in a second. But first, I actually spent about 3 hours with my patrons testing Higgsfield Popcorn to get this video ready. And if you really like seeing how the sausage is made behind the scenes, head over to Patreon at patreon.com/AI Inside Show. You can support this channel there, and you'll get direct access to future live streams like the one that I completed earlier today. And if you just like them cut down to the core like this video, be sure to subscribe here on this channel so you don't miss future AI deep dives like this one. I'm Jason Howell. Thank you for watching, and here it is, my short movie.